So I want to welcome you to Mike's Memorial. There was actually another memorial in Ohio because it's a little too hard for Skip, who is 91, 92 now, to travel all the way out to California. She sends her love. I don't know if she's on, but she was going to try to be on this Zoom meeting. So we'll record this for her as well. She wanted everybody to know, I'm going to break up already. She wanted everybody to know how much she misses Mike, like we all do. And she wanted everybody to know how proud she was of him, especially for his teaching career and how many people he helped A, love to learn, and B, learn the English language. And she was also proud of him for helping two young men by being their father. We have Annelle here today, and we have Louise here today and their families. And I wish she could have been here with us because she's still, she would love to give everybody here a hug, as is the custom. So what we'll do is I will let the sons tell you about their father, and then we'll let you come up and tell your favorite story if you'd like. If you can stand here, I'm sorry, so that people online can listen and hear you. And sorry, that was the flowers. The flowers found their way here. But yeah, if you want to come up here and say something, and if you don't, that's okay. There is a beautiful memorial page that Lane Juvet's created, and I put that on the back of our little pamphlets. If you would like to share your memories there, you can go to her website, beautiful website, and share pictures and the story. Lane, I hope that's okay. I didn't ask you if I could do that. So if you're not comfortable speaking in front of people, as you can see, I'm not so great at it. Please feel free to go there and share your story. We would love to hear it. Everybody would love to hear it. And Skip would love to hear it. So thank you all for coming today. Annelle, are you ready? Let's just stand where you can see yourself.
You guys see me all right? Good?
Yep.
Just want to say thanks to everyone for coming over. It's not something easy to have to go through, this process. When I first met Pops, as I love to call him, it was back in 1998, and I met him briefly because I think it was a summer intersection, and I didn't speak to him. I didn't get to know him until like 2000 or something like that, and we got real close to the point where he was like, I told him my story, that I never had a dad. And he said, "Bro, you know what? I would like to be your dad." And it wasn't until 2001, you guys remember, what, 9/11? Well, I decided to join the Marines. And in 2003, when we met again, I was with my wife, Lydia, and we were at Bonds. And he said, when he learned that I was, deploying the next month, he actually told me, "Can I adopt you as my son?" And I was like, jokingly, "I don't know if you can adopt an adult, a grown man." But if you want to be my dad, let's just, let's do this, and we got so close together. We were do things, and then I started having kids. There's Lorenzo, Emma, and Emiliano. You can't see them; they're really short, And he called them all my grandkids, which that that's what touched me because I've always wanted a dad, and I lost him. And then he became, my kid's grandpa. He was happy. He used to love going, trick or treating with my kids at Halloween, everywhere we could. Um, it was a beautiful moments every single day, like holidays. You know, he would ask us to come over and have dinner with call him my little brother. It was amazing, beautiful time. We had the best moments, dinner, and whatnot, you know. And then this happened. Um, I happened to be the one who, brought him home both times. And it was not the first time I felt good because he was, opening the door to his house. But the second time, that's when it was already. Uh, I can't even think about it, you know, having a dad, such a wonderful person for such a little time. But he made me feel proud of being who I am. And he taught me so many things, especially, loving your family. The way he loved my kids, he loved them probably more than I do because I yell at them, you know. But just want to say thank you, everyone. Um, I really appreciate this, and I hope that you know he's having a good time with my daughter because I lost a daughter as well. Okay, thank you very much, and I'm gonna have Luis say something.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I see many. I see a lot of familiar faces, and I think I met a lot of you guys, but some of them not. But my name is Luis. I'm Mike's son. It's unfortunately that we have to meet in these circumstances, but it's I'm really grateful for you guys to show up, and he's Mike. Is a great person, uh, great human being. Uh, Thanks to him, I did a lot of good decisions and got me where I am. I see Mr. Vilches, he's one of our teachers back then. I remember when Mike decided to help me out during high school, and I used to go do a little work for teachers around. That's the way I make my way through. Did a little bit of work through Vilches. Arlene, I know she's here. I did a lot of work on her house too. And that's the way he helped me pretty much throughout high school to keep pushing through. And at the same time, he also helped me in a huge way, um, which is him teaching me English. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to speak with you guys or communicate with you guys right now the way I am. Um, and he didn't just help me; he helped probably hundreds, if not thousands, of students that went throughout the years. And I feel proud of him because thanks to him, there's a lot of guys, kids, just like me that we got his help on learning, adapting to a new language, being able to communicate, express ourselves. That was probably the biggest help I ever got from him, and I'm grateful to him. Unfortunately, he took off a little bit too soon. But I'm gonna remember him the way he was. Before anything, he was an amazing human being. He helped not just me, but a lot of his students in many ways. I remember there was a student named, well, I don't even, Gustavo, that's his name. He used to ride to school every day on a bike. And one day he showed up real sad because somebody stole his bike. And Mike, in the next 2-3 days, Mike brought a brand new bike for him to be able to go from home to school and from school to work or wherever he needed to go. He gave him a brand new bike, and that was just crazy. Not everybody jumps in something like that and takes care of someone in that way. And then, I did a lot of work for a few of the teachers, moved out to Oregon for about a year, came back, went to visit him, and very similar as Anel, he just saw me working and pushing through, and he decided to adopt me. It was a little bit complicated for me, but I think it was the best choice when I said yes. It's an honor for me to be his son. And he was just a great person. I'm out of words now, but thank you everyone for being here, and I hope everyone remembers Mike as who he was. Great person, happy. And that's all I have on my end. Thank you everyone to be here, and I appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thanks. Thanks, Nell. So are there any folks here who would like to share, and I know their stories. Anybody who'd like to share stories about Mike? Come on up. Are you here to share?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There you go. Just keep the seat, watch yourself there.
Okay. I'm Marion Dodge. I taught at Marshall High School with Mike for many, many years across the hall, across the way.
A little closer to you. There you go.
Yeah. It's going to fix the volume, huh?
So you might have to talk a little closer. Sorry.
Okay. So Mike really looked after his students. He loved his kids, and they in return looked after him. But you asked for interesting stories about Mike. We were on the year-round track schedule, which kind of messed up vacation plans, and Mike had vacation plans. And he asked me if I would cover his classes for a week while he went on vacation. And he had a 9th grade English class that had a whole lot of students who were in the 10th grade and 11th grade and hadn't yet figured out how to pass 9th grade English. And the rest of his classes were ESL classes. Mike had warned me about that first period 9th grade English class. And so he had scheduled the students, they were just supposed to watch a movie. But the class was indeed challenging. And then I would get to his ESL classes in the afternoon, and the ESL classes were terrific. So on Friday, after having survived the last day with the 9th grade English class, I got to his ESL 4 class, and I told them, I said, "You are wonderful students. It's such a pleasure to teach you. I've really enjoyed teaching your class. You're fantastic." And this kid in the front row who I'd had in my ESL 2 class, he was grinning to beat the band. He said, "Mr. Hathaway tells us that every day." So lesson learned, do not wait until Friday. Tell them every day. And by the way, Mike was absolutely thrilled to have adopted his boys, and he loved being a grandfather.
Thank you so much. What a sweet story. Come on up.
It's really nice to be here to celebrate Mike. I got to know him on a work-based level. But anyway, he was a lover of movies and a lover of cocktails. And I was his personal bartender. So we used to spend a lot of time in the afternoons, just me and him, because it'd be really quiet and I really got to know him. And he would talk about his students, he would talk about his sons. I've never met them, but through what he expressed to me, I feel like I've met them, you know? It's just like he shared so much with me in such a short period of time. It was really quite magical and intimate. But anyway, let's lighten it up. So he was such a prankster. He would just like talk about all this stuff he would do, like set the students up, like to pull these pranks and da 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 da. So of course I totally bought into it. So then I kept telling him about different experiences I would go through, and he would bring me these little elements. Like I was having this terrible time with my manager of the building. They were just being very negative and trying to cause problems and da 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 da. So anyway, he brought me all these stink bombs. And then he, not only did he bring me the stink bombs, he told me how to deploy them. He's like, go in the parking garage, put them under the tires of the cars, and they roll out, boom. And he said, is there a doormat? I'm like, yeah, put them under the doormat. When they come out, just boom. Needless to say, it was like 50 stink bombs. He wanted me, he was protecting me. And another time he gave me invisible ink. He said, when Thomas is my partner, he's over there. But anyway, he said, when Thomas comes out, make sure he's wearing a white shirt and you just squirt it on him. And I was like, okay. So I did that. Thomas freaked out. Mike loved it. Then another time his students, he had bought them these bling watches. They were these huge, chunky rhinestone diamond, you know, like the football team, I think it was. And I was just like, I was enamored with it. I was like, oh my God, I love those. The next day, there he is. Here's your watch, Johnny. But anyway, you know, we had like a, you know, just a very free-flowing relationship. And he was always there with me. And, you know, the thing that's disappointing to me, we were just getting at the point that we were developing, you know, a much more dimensional aspect where we could socialize outside of work. And then COVID came in, and then he got wrapped up in his illness. But the thing that really, you know, was very touching to me is that when he got out of the hospital, he texted me. And I was too busy to pick up the text because I just started a new job. I mean, that's an excuse. But anyway, he wanted to know where the new watering hole was. And I texted him back like a week later. And then I never heard anything, you know, and I just got caught up. And then I found out that he passed away, and it just totally shattered me. And I didn't realize how connected we were. Even though, you know, on a certain level, I just enjoyed him so much, but we had so much more to develop. But at the same point, I feel like we developed what we did, you know, and outside of that, you know, I'm just kind of getting into my own self-needs. But what a blessing, what an impeccable man, so fun and so full of life. And I'm just so honored to be here to celebrate him. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's wonderful. Hey, Lori. Okay.
Lori Ballant, friend of Mike for many, 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 many years. Mike and I traveled a lot together. We went to Mexico a lot, to Oaxaca, and we eventually took a whole bunch of folks down there with us. And we had some amazing times with Monte Fontes and Martha. And I can't tell you all the stories because there, you know, there's people at home that are probably, you know, under 21. And so, but I got to tell you, we laughed so much together. We had so many great times together. Hi, Miriam, it's good to see you. We traveled to Amsterdam together, and we went on a long weekend because I'd always traveled to Mexico because I loved it so much. I said, damn, I got to get out of town a little bit more. So he goes, let's go to Amsterdam. So you can imagine Mike and me in Amsterdam. And we had the best, he was such a practical joker. And then my plane got delayed, so we ended up in England, in Max. So life with, sorry? Hi, Max. Life with Mike was always such an adventure. And the practical joking, absolutely, he loved fart machines. He would put them in his house and have parties and have people sit, go sit over there. And then we'd like, oh my God. But, you know, I mean, I could tell you so many stories, but Mike loved teaching. It was his life. He was an exceptional teacher. His heart and passion and soul was in teaching. And like the last young man that came up and spoke, I too, when I left Marshall High School many years ago, it was such wonderful memories of teaching and being there. And I got to tell you just one quick story. We were teaching kids on April Fool's Day. We had a lot of kids from outside the country. So we pretended we were going to get married. Mike and I told our students, yes, we're going to get married. And I literally brought a wedding dress, hung it in my classroom. And then on the day, you know, April Fool's Day, we told them there, I think they were gravely disappointed that a gay man and a married woman weren't going to get married. But anyway, it was a good lesson in American culture. But when I left Marshall, I sort of lost touch with Mike. I did. And for almost 13 years, we didn't talk too much. So to your point, we do get involved in other things. But when I found out he was sick, for some reason, I reached out and started really getting more involved and trying to offer my support like so many of us did. I know, Mary, you've always been there every step of the way. And I reconnected with Mike, and I reconnected with his family, and I reconnected with helping, you know, to try to figure out how to best get him to a place of helping us. And so I was so lucky I got to see him again, and I got to work with his family and try to make things better for him when he got out of the hospital. And so the last time I saw Mike was he was just getting out of the hospital. He looked so good, you guys. You know, everything he went through, he was still impeccably dressed. His shoes were shined, his head was bald, his eyes were gleaming. He was still bitching and moaning about stuff. But it was good because he was full of life. And I just want to remember him for the beauty of his soul, for the passion of his teaching, for his just silliness and fun. And I will never be able to, I just appreciate so much the memories he's given me and all of us together. So that's it. And I know he loved you passionately and deeply, and that's why you're here. Just anyway, that's enough. I've gone on long enough. Anyway.
Thank you, Lori.
Yeah.
Hi. Thank you, Lori. I'm glad you're here too.
Just make sure you can see yourself there. There you go. Good.
Hi, my name is Lane Juvet. A lot of you guys also know me here as Booth. I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces, and thanks for coming out. And thank you for his friends, and they're really much like family in overseas in England and France. Thanks. Hello. I don't know where to start because there's so much to Michael, so rich, so wealthy of so much life. And I'm very fortunate to have met him when I did in the mid-90s. It was kind of a weird fluke how I met him. We had some mutual friends that we're really no longer friends with anymore. We drifted apart, but they said, we're going to go to this party, but if you meet us at this address in West Hollywood, we're having a dinner party. You can just pick us up from there and we'll go to this other party. And so I show up there, and I show up at 9, and they didn't even start eating. And this was Michael Hathaway's house. And I thought, this is so awkward. I'm here and I don't know what to do. And Michael just made me feel like, come on in, join the party. And we became very good friends from that moment on. We did so much together, and I was living in Echo Park. And when he moved over to Echo Park, it was just going to be a party nonstop because he loved his home that he had found, and he had so many ideas to make that home his, and he did. And one thing I got an opportunity to do is now let me into his house a few days ago, and I wanted to take a picture of Mike's ceiling, which is this right here. His friend had painted this, I'm going to call it fresco on the ceiling, and we're going to just show it here in the to our virtual friends there. And this will be on the website too, if you want to just snag a shot of it there in the next couple of days. And you know, I had been in touch with Mike in June. We were communicating a lot, and I was very hopeful. I thought that he was going to be able to survive this. He had expressed how tough it had been. He said, "I've been through hell and back, and I can't believe this happened to me." But he was determined to get back to life and reach out to friends, and it's very sad. It breaks my heart that he is gone. But when I found out in July, the first thing that came to my mind was this painting. And as I remember when it was painted and it was done and we were talking about it, I said, "Mike, this is amazing. It's like it's another world, and these are welcoming friends to another realm, another world." And he's like, "That's it." He said, "That's it. That's the transport. We're gonna call that, you know, the door, the ceiling trap door to the other side." And so I thought of this image because he's in a better place right now, and he's here with us in spirit, and he feels our love, and he will always be in our memories and in our hearts, and that gives me great joy. And I could be up here for a long time telling you so many stories, so many good times. It's unbelievable how I just can't believe how many great times we had. But I do want to say that his legacy, I believe, is what everybody has been saying, how he's helped so many people and he's given so much. And that's what he should be remembered for. And he was so proud of Annelle and Louise. I mean, he was so proud of them. And he told me every time we met and communicated. And I want to thank everybody again for coming out here to celebrate and honor Mike. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Elaine, and thank you for the beautiful website you set up.
Hello, for everybody. I'm Miriam, and I was a very, very close friend of Mike. I met him in '89 when he started working for Marshall High School, and my supervisor told me that to show him around, to show the school around. So I did that, and starting from that moment, we were very, very, very close. He's one of the best things that happened to me to meet him because we experienced so many things. We traveled together. We went to Europe, to Mexico. He stayed in my house several times in Mexico City. So for me, like for a lot of you, it's been very, very hard. I still thinking about him or talking to him because when I left Marshall, we keep in touch, and we decided to have breakfast every Saturday and to spend the whole day Saturdays. So we did that for the past 20 years. So every Saturday we did a lot of things together. We enjoyed movies, we enjoyed the museums, and hi, it's nice to see you all. I see the hands there. So, yeah, and in England I met all his older friends there, and they're very, very nice. And the emptiness that I feel without him is very, very, very big. And he's going to be in my mind for the rest of my life. And I just want to remember him for the great person that he was. I mean, all his students, I don't know, I thought that we were going to have more of them because he helped so many of them. And I was working at one time as his teacher assistant, and I know how close they were to him. And I think I better stop now. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else want to come up? Come on up. There you go.
Just watch that you're there so they can
Okay.
see you on there.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see a lot of faces from high school, long time ago, 1996, 1998, and for that age. There's nothing left to say. First of all, I'm kind of sorry. My English is still not that good after a long time ago in here. But I want to say, like, I feel very jealous that you guys become adopted for him. Once we talked to him about that, and for some reason I had to drop school, so I couldn't make it. So I'm very that's a privilege to be adopted for him, for real. There's nothing left to say because I think all of you already know him. The same stories. In my case, I met him when I was 16, 17 years old when I was in high school. I never expect to meet someone with so much love for people. I used to be a very quiet guy, student. Two important people for me when I was in high school was Dorothy Lee, my art teacher, and Hathaway. Because the first time I went to school, one of some other students tried to make some trouble with me, and I didn't pay attention how bad I was gonna be after school. So I remember when I went out of school, some friend of mine went behind me and told me, Carlos, keep walking. I said, why? Just keep walking. And then I heard Hathaway behind me yelling to the other guys, if you want a problem, you want to have it with me, with some other guy, with some other cops. And it shocked me, you know what I mean? Because back then, my feeling was so broken because um, I didn't have no friends those days. And to see someone that don't really know me came and say that it shocked me, impacted my life from that day. The other time, the other occasion was when my dad passed away, and I tell him, you know what, my dad passed away. Um, he said, oh, Carlos, and he was sitting on the desk, and then he used to stand up, grab a bottle of milk. They have a stuff in there. Drop it on, write something in there, and he went right to the principal office to get some donation from my dad's funeral and stuff. And that shocked me too because I say, wow, it's incredible. After that, I went through a lot of stuff. He took care of me for a year, talking probably. We were talking. There was a moment that we were trying to talk about be adopted too. He never asked me if you're gonna be adopted, but I told him, you know what? I would like you to be adopted for you because he was such a great guy. And the last time I had communication with him was a year and a half ago. Um, he was glad to see that everything was okay. I was planning to go. I didn't know he moved up over here in Echo Park. For me, he still was living in Holloway, West Hollywood. And when a friend of mine told me like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I guess, it shocked me. I cried at that moment because, first of all, I thought was at the very moment that he passed away, I say, nah, I can't believe it. You know what I mean? We all know that everybody had to pass away, but of course, their family or friend, you know what I mean? And I was trying to search what happened, what's going on, and nobody wanted to give me some information. So I called another teacher, and he told me, no, he passed away 2 months ago. Tell you through, it made me feel like a trash. You know what I mean? Because I said, you passed away 2 months ago, and just noticed. It was hard. You know what I mean? I cried. Some of my coworkers, I said, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. As I say, maybe in a point, I saw him more than a friend. I saw him like a dad too. For 3 years, we shared not that good moment as you, but he took care of me for a year after my dad passed away. Um, he was such a great guy. As I say, like he was full of life too, a lot of young. I remember one time he sent me to another classroom with a box, and I didn't know who it was. I said, Carlos, come in, take this to room. I don't remember the number. And I said, what is it for? Well, you just give it to the other teacher. Then the other teacher, a couple of minutes after delivered the box, he went back to him. He was sending him a plastic pool in a box. I don't know what I mean with that, you know. So probably I said, you almost made me in trouble. Yeah, no, it's okay, don't worry about it. But I would like to have some more good moments with him, but as I say, on those days, on those years, my English it wasn't well. I didn't speak English at all, so my communication with him was too little. I mean, the little Spanish that he know plus my English. He took me to a movie too. He know a lot of movies too. And how I wish to have the communication, the way I communicate with people now, and stay with him and talk more. You know, tell him about the whole thing I've been through. He was he like not like stepdad, but my godfather. I always tell him, you might be not my dad, but you're my godfather. He was just like a angel for my life. He he showed me, he teach me that we all are the same. You know what I mean? We all have to give respect each other, no matter what. You know what I mean? I remember when he pulled off his hair the first time. I said, "Why you did that?" You know what I mean? Well, I said it when I didn't know English that day, so I said, why you hair?" And I say, you know what, Carlos? I like to be at the time of the people. You know what I mean? If they decide to have a long hair, I let my hair grow. I always like to feel people comfortable. So, you know what I mean? It's good to see, as I say, familiar faces over here, all teachers. These guys, I'm still saying, I'm jealous on that one. That was a very privilege, as I say. I would like to give you a hug too. Come here. I would like to give you a hug too. I don't know these guys, but just because you were a doctor, I will tell you that you might be like my brothers too, because we have this and that, different model. All right, so that's all I have to say. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Your English is great. Thank you. Right, anybody else want to speak? Karen, would you like to? For those of you on the Zoom, I don't know how to project out. I don't know if any of you wanted to speak. We'll figure that out as we get through people here and see if we can project out your voices from my computer, okay? So hang on.
Anna,
Yes.
could you turn the camera around just for a minute so that we can see who else is there, who people are talking to?
Let me show everybody. So hang on here, Karen. I'm going to do a panoramic.
Thank you.
Actually, I can do one better. Okay, hang on. I got it pointed. Everybody wave. Do a little. We're going to take you on a walk. I got it. Sorry, we got some sun coming here. All right, it's a beautiful day here. Karen's gonna speak now, and then we'll see if we can figure out how to get some of you guys speaking. So for yourself.
I look for myself. Hello, hi everybody. Maxine, heard about you all. Okay,
Yeah,
it's not a good way to start. Okay. what to say about a man who filled such a large region of the world. But I'm going to think of something. I am going to think of something. When Mike walked into a room, the room got brighter. My husband Robert and I, sitting over there in the checked shirt. Okay.
There you go.
Robert and I met Mike at ArcLight. We heard from Johnny. And ArcLight Hollywood was one of those bars like Cheers. Some of you are too young to remember that show, but you walked in and you knew everybody. You knew the 8 people at the bar and at the tables. And we hit it off. We started talking. Robert and I have a teaching business at our home, tutoring. So we shared that. We shared the love of movies. So we started hanging out at the bar. Next thing you know, we were making dates to go to the bar together. Then let's go out to dinner. After we went to On Vine several times. And then, well, just come back to our house for dinner and drinks, of course. The Christmas dinner, he spent the night. So we probably knew Mike only 5 years, but he was, so it's not one of our friends for 40 years, for a million years, but we counted Mike as a best friend now. He was the one that we called every day. He was the one that we got together with. Of course, COVID cut in, but we spoke to him every day. We did a couple Zooms with him, even though he hated Zoom. He was sick of Zoom. Mike is one of the most unusual people I've ever met. I'd be arranging flowers and I couldn't wait for him to come see. He really appreciated them. Oh, I used to be a florist. And then when we were buying a car, I used to be a car salesman. Mike used to publish books. So I'm just thinking I should have gotten the whole story because I know there's more. He loved his teaching. He loved his students. He loved his sons and he was very proud of them and grandchildren. He loved Halloween. He would sell the cards that we would get from Mike. It didn't have to be a special occasion. It would just be, hey, I love you. And what fabulous stickers he would decorate his envelopes with. One special time that we had was, I think, February 24th, 2019. We were going to have an Academy Awards party, a very small one. It was just Robert and our friend Giancarlo, who was back there under the red tent, and Mike and me. Well, Mike came over dressed in a tuxedo, carrying a box full of champagne and 2 other boxes that were full of what we've now dubbed the Oscar boys. He found online. He bought 150, I believe it was. I packed them up. He couldn't believe it. He says, I'll get more. So each time, we had a little bet going as to who would guess correctly in different categories. So each time we guessed right, we got an Oscar boy. And they were all over the house. I did win that night. And I was like, why did you rip the plastic open like this? Because I'm going to save them. And they are packed up in the garage. And when we saw him at Garden Crest, when he was, getting way better, walking, I told him, well, we're going to celebrate the Oscars again next year. I think this is typical of Mike. When we went to visit him at Garden Crest, he had taken the little toothpaste yellow tray or the shaving tray, and he had pulled flowers out from some arrangements he made. And he made us a gorgeous floral arrangement in this little, toothpaste, plastic toothpaste dish. I have a picture of it, so I should send that on to the booth to post. But I mean, who gives you flowers when you go to visit them in rehab? Now, thank goodness we did bring him a little rose bush. So Mike looked good, and he said that day we hung out with him for several hours. He said that was the most normal he felt in 9 months. And he was dressed impeccably. And we saw him after he got home too. And I'm still looking for him. He hasn't come by yet. But if you all remember his message, he's probably busy now, making friends, and I miss him so much, as I know you all do, and I count myself lucky to call him a friend. Love you, Mike. Miss you, Mike. Be well.
Did anybody else want to come up? I'm going to see if anybody online wants to talk. I'm not sure how this is going to work. I was not an AV kid at school. So we will, we'll see what we can do. Anybody online want to say anything?
I'll say something.
Okay, let me see if I can put this up. Let me figure out where the microphone is here. Let me see if I can, this is the volume. Okay. Let's go. Okay, let me see if I can just get you on screen, Maxine. Spotlight for everyone. There we go.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Maxine. Anyway, it's really lovely that we were able to join you today. I really want to say how much we miss and how much it's going to feel so different not having Mike visit us regularly as he has done for many, many years. And we still are trying to process what's happened over here because we hadn't seen him for a while due to COVID. And
hang on here a second, Maxine. I can't get the sound to go on.
I can hear you, Max, here. So you're probably recorded.
Yeah, it's just the microphone. We're unable to get my computer to loud enough.
Well, it will probably record, Anna, so.
Yes.
But anyway, I just really happy that we got a chance to do this and, you know, and be part of his memorial that you've set up for him. And, you know, we will miss him very much. He was a big part of our life. Yeah, we will, you know, I just, anyway, I just wanted to say thank you for setting this up so that we could experience and see what everybody, you know, is saying, all the good things and all his friends there. And thank you, you know, and I'm going to go and visit Skip in the spring to go and see her. And I'm hoping, you know, that will be something that she will get pleasure from. But I keep in contact with her, and I know that this will be a wonderful thing for her to have and to treasure all the messages and memories that you are sharing for her. So thank you.
Thank you, Maxine. So what I'm going to suggest, we can't get the sound out to the folks here, but what I can do is you guys can share stories. I will leave the meeting going and you guys can share stories in the meeting. I don't know if I'll get somebody to help me if I need to fix any settings, but I think you can all speak and visualize. Is there anybody else here who wants to speak today? Here, oh, I have somebody else, so we'll get that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Adan Bautista. I'm from Oaxaca, Mexico. I met Michael long time ago. I don't even remember. I met Miriam with him. Michael was a very good person, an excellent, exceptional in many ways. He was, I was fortunate to attend so many parties where he was the best host. He out of some frijoles, some guacamole, some chips, he make it us to enjoy. He was the best cook for to me. I still remember his guacamole, his beans, his sometimes chips, but he colored chips, his wine, his cocktails. But he showed me that what a good person he should be. He was very passionate about teaching. He was helping a lot of students. He was helping a lot of friends. And he was also, he showed me that, to me, for example, he helped me out in a way that I know he has a lot of friends. When I became a real estate agent, he gave me the opportunity to find him a house, and I represent him. I found him his house in Eco Park, and he loves the house. It was perfect for him. I really gonna miss his Christmas cards, because he still was one of the persons, a few persons that still send an actual card. When he got out of the hospital, he still sent me a thank you card. And we should, I feel very honored to be here, because in the ways you guys sharing, I remember him because he was a good talker. When I talked to him, when I called him over the phone, I spent 60 minutes at least. So I know many of you, something about you guys, but I don't know you very because face to face, because we never met. From people in England, probably I know something about you. I don't know who you are, but he traveled to Oaxaca. He enjoyed Oaxaca. I introduced my family to him, and we have very good times in Oaxaca and here also. Thank you.
Thank you. Last chance for coming up. What I would like to invite everybody to do is share stories amongst each other. Whether you're on the Zoom meeting, I'm going to leave that running, or whether you're here, please, socialize with all these people who love Mike. And we do have some little bottles of water here and some, I know it was supposed to be macaroons, but you're going to have to settle for Madeline's and biscotti, and then maybe even a few Rice Krispie treats, which is probably, not his first choice. So thank you all for coming today. It was lovely to meet some of you that I've only talked to on the phone or messaged or email. Those of you on the Zoom meetings. It's wonderful to meet all of you, and I will continue the recording if you guys want to stay on and share, and I'll come back and check on you and see how things are going, and take your time. I can switch over to my phone if my computer battery runs out. So feel free to take your time, okay? Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Anna.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you.
Oh, come on. I think it's the hotel with the guest name. Remember $2.99 for ticket?
How is everybody doing in this chat? Sorry? I said, how is everybody doing in this chat?
Oh, quite late. It's quite late here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was a lovely memorial.
And it's an awful lot colder here than it looks there. Unbelievable sunshine there. Wow.
Oh, in California, yes, the sun.
It's a beautiful park. I know it really well, and it looks gorgeous from us. So I'm very happy.
Yes, well,
I have two cuttings. When I visited him, he used to come over and I would see him when he'd come to visit Freshford and stay with Maxine and Gabrielle. I lived a couple doors down, and he would come and visit, and we'd trick or treat. And then I have family in California, in Los Angeles myself. So when I went out to visit them, I would, of course, see Mike and visit his lovely bungalow. And I have some lovely cuttings that he gave me of some cactus, which you will know very well from around his bungalow. And they are absolutely wonderful. And just maybe at the beginning of COVID, they started to, they're very vertical and very tall, but they started to sprout a new growth on each cactus. They're just lovely. And I often, I still get so much enjoyment from them. And I just feel it's obviously very much a part of
him.
Lies. Yes, perpetually being kept. A bit of California and Mike here in Freshford, still very growing, very tall, and very healthily enjoying itself. So I'll put a picture up because they look fabulous. And he told me they were from a friend that gave it to him from Bolivia, and they were very protective. So it's a very nice memory to have.
He probably smuggled them out.
Probably, yes. Most likely.
I had to smuggle them here into the UK, so it's all quite wonderful.
It takes one to know one.
Well, they did say they were hallucinogenic, and I thought one day we must all do something with them if they are.
Okay, party at yours, Melina.
Well, very lovely to meet you all. I'm actually met Mike. He was my English teacher back in 2002, I think. So he definitely made an impact in me. I was an immigrant. Well, I'm an immigrant, but back then I didn't speak English, of course. And, I took his advice and I became a journalist. So, yeah, I will always, yes.
Well done.
Wonderful.
Yeah, you're English. He loved teaching.
Yes, he was very funny, always making jokes. He was, I always remember him like that, always happy.
Yeah, he used to share all his stories about his teaching and his students, and whenever he came over, he loved it.
And he also, I remember he used to tell a story about his friends in UK and all over the world.
Yeah,
I remember that as well. But it's a pleasure meeting you all, guys. I know he will always be with us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Bye.
Thank you. Pleasure meeting you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Stay safe because we're still in pandemic. Definitely.
Yes.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.